Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, February 13th, 2024, and I'm back after another bout with COVID, the second in 4 months. So much for my natural immunity, but I thank you and appreciate all of the prayers from me and my wife and my daughter as we've suffered through this other bout of COVID. We just finished Mark chapter 10, and we're going into Mark chapter 11 this week, and Jesus has just healed blind Bartimaeus and is entering Jerusalem. And in Mark chapter 11, verses 1 to 3, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation, second edition, says, as Jesus and his disciples approached Jerusalem, they came to the towns of Bethphage and Bethany on the Mount of Olives. Jesus sent two of them on ahead. Go into that village over there, he told them. As soon as you enter it, you'll see a young donkey tied there that no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks, what are you doing? Just say, the Lord needs it and will return it soon. Now, Jesus had been warned not to go to Jerusalem because the leaders were going to arrest him. And he'd been encountering increasing persecution as he was going. And the disciples were filled with fear, trepidation, and anticipation, and quite frankly, wondering how things were going to work out for them. And so Jesus is doing his normal pattern of walking slowly, teaching, preaching as he goes, sharing lessons, helping people understand, folks coming up to him for healings and him granting it, just his normal walking around kind of situation. But he takes two of the disciples and he tells them, you two go on ahead, which is easy to do because he's moving so slowly. You go on ahead, and when you get to that village, you'll see a donkey. And he foretells the existence and location of a young, unridden donkey. Now, I don't know how much time you spent around donkeys, but they're not the most agreeable of beasts. And one that's never been ridden before is usually not too excited about being ridden now. And he told them, you untie it and you bring it here. And they're thinking, isn't that Grand Theft Donkey? But he says, if anybody challenges you, if anybody asks you what you're doing, just tell them the Lord needs it, and they'll let you go. Jesus had miraculously prepared the way for this triumphal entry. He placed the donkey there. He had arranged for it to be tied, and a brand new donkey had not been ridden before. He arranged for the owners just to let him use it for a while. He set all of these things in motion without the disciples' awareness or knowledge. He made things ready for them that they weren't even beginning to understand. You know, we may not always see how the way has been prepared for us, but can we be obedient if we don't know the outcome? These disciples were expecting to be challenged on just going up and taking a donkey. If you walk in a parking lot and grab a car that's not yours, somebody will challenge you on it. And yet, he had miraculously prepared the way in provision, in location, in understanding, and giving them the ability to be obedient, even when they didn't expect it, or acknowledge or know it was happening. Can we be obedient if we don't know the outcome? Can we trust that things will truly work out for our good if we just do what God says? Can we trust God and believe that he's really got everything under control when the anticipation and the trepidation and the fear are running rampant in our lives? Can we recognize that God is still on his throne and God has everything under control, and He's already put the donkey where we need it to be. May you have trust in God this week. God bless you.